Now we are going to do a new project, quote of the day. We will display an inspirational quote over an image, and we will not be displaying the same image and the same quote always. We will randomly select the image and quote and display it to the user so that it will look unique. So let's see how to develop the quote of the day application. This is how our application will look like. This is a heading and it will display an image and also an inspirational quote over the image. Here it is showing the best way to make your dreams come true is to wake up. If I refresh again, the image as well as the message changes. Now it is nurture your mind with great thoughts. A goal without a plan is just a wish. The best way to make your dreams come true is to wake up. The sure way to miss success is to miss the opportunity. Again the same message. The best way to prepare for life is to begin to live. Like this we will be displaying different messages with different images on the background. I have already created a web page named quote.html. I have also saved some images. See, this is the quote.html file. In the same folder, there is another folder named images with 10 different images, nature1.jpg, nature2.jpg and up to nature10.jpg. So this images folder and this quote.html lie in the same main folder. Next we need to write the code, right? So what we have to do first, let's have a main div element for styling purpose. So div id equals main. This is just to style the items. Let me add a title h2 align equals center. Let the title be quote of the day. Next we need to have the image, right? So img, let me add the id as background, and I'm not giving any source because we will do it from the JavaScript part. That is randomly selecting an image and display it. Then we need to have a space to display the quote. So div id equals quote, and let me close this. Okay. Now let me style this a bit. That is, let me style the main element first. So I have to access it using its id. So main, let me center it first, margin 0px auto. Let me set its width to be say 500 px. Then what we need to style next? We need to style the image as well as the div element, right? But before that, let's just check how it appears now. For that, let me add a source for the time being. Let it be images/nature1.jpg. As I have shown you, I have saved 10 images with names nature1, nature2 like that in the images folder. So here I need to specify the path relative to this quote.html. Let me also add a new quote and let me set the width and height for this image element. Okay. So img, let the width be say 500 px itself. That is the width of the main div itself. And let me also set a height to be say 300 px. And let's now check how it appears. Refresh. See, it is now appearing like this. This div element that we are going to display the quote is just displayed below the image. We want it over the image, right? So we need to do some styling in order to make this appear on this image. So do you know how to do that? First we need to set the position of the main div to be relative, okay? And then the position of this div to be absolute. That is hash quote position should be absolute. Okay. Let me also set the top and left properties. So left, let us start from the left side itself. So let me put it as 10 px, and top, the total height is 300 px. So let us display the quote towards the bottom. So let it be 250 px. Okay. Then let me change the color of this quote to white so that it will be clearly visible. So white. Let me also increase the font size to 30px so that it will be bigger in size. Then what I need to do, let me also set the width to be, say the total width is 500. So let me set the width to be 470px, and let me also set a padding to have some space on the border. So padding, let it be 10px. Okay. Now let us check how it is working. Refresh. See, it is appearing like this, but the font is not increased. So, okay, it is not font, it is font size. Let me also align it. So text align to be justify. And let us check how it works now. Okay, now it is appearing like this. Next, what we need to have, we need to randomly select the image as well as the quote. So for that, inside the script, let me create an images array and let me set the location of all the 10 images inside this images array. So let me copy it from here. This is the location of images. I just have to change the name of the file, right? So comma, we need to have 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let me change the names to 3, 4. Okay. Now we have the location of all the 10 images in the images array. Similarly, let me store some quotes in a quotes array. So where quotes array is equal to, let me put it as an empty array, then add the quotes. So let me copy some quotes and paste it over here. Okay, I have copied 13 quotes, that is 0 till 12, means total 13 quotes. So now we have the locations of the images in an images array and the inspirational quotes in a different array. Now how will we select a quote and an image randomly? There is a random method offered by JavaScript, that is math.random, which will generate a random number between 0 and 1. Let me show you how it works. So let me write where num is equal to math.random. This is a method offered by JavaScript, and let me try to alert num. Now what will happen? Each time this num will be different and it will be a decimal value between 0 and 1. Let's see that. Refresh. See 0.14075. Refresh. Again it is a different number, 0.828. Refresh. 0.1168. Refresh. 0.5458. Okay. So we can use this math.random method to generate a random number between 0 and the size of the array. So how we can do that? Let me first generate a random number for the image. So let me name it as random image. Then if I multiply this by the size of the array minus 0, what will happen? What is the size of this array? Images array dot length minus 0 means what will happen? This number images array dot length minus 0 will be, this images array dot length will be 10 in the case of images array. So 10 minus 0 means 10 itself, and this number will be multiplied by a random number between 0 and 1. So the maximum value of that number will be less than 1. So this value will not be greater than 10 even if we multiply by 10. Then what we will do is we will randomize this result with math.floor method. This math.floor method will round the value downwards to get an integer. For example, if you try to get math.floor of 2.8, what will be the output? It will be 2. See, it is 2. Why? It will round the value downwards to get an integer. So when you do this, the math.random will return a decimal value between 0 and 1, and when we multiply this with this value, it will be a value less than 10, and when we use math.floor, we will get an integer less than 10. That is the size of the array. Similarly, we can use a random number for quote as well. So random quote equals, let me copy this and just change the name of the array. Paste it over here and the name of the array is quotes array. Okay. So this will give two random numbers between 0 and the size of the array so that we can display it randomly. Now let me remove this and let me remove this as well. Now what we need to do, we need to use these details to pick an image as well as a quote and display it once the page is ready. We can use the load event to check whether the page is ready. So on load, we can call a function. Let me name the function as display details. Okay. And let us write the display details function now. Function display details. Okay. Let me copy this into the function. Okay. Even if it is outside, there is no problem. We can access it because they will act as global variables, but we don't need to be as global variables. So I have copied it inside the function. Now we have two random numbers, right? Next, what we need to do, we need to set the source of the image as well as the value for this div element. So first let me get the image. So document dot get element by id. The id is background. Then what we need to do next, we need to set the source, right? So source src equals, we need to get images array and the index be random number. So it will be a random number between 0 and the size of the images array. So it will pick an image randomly. Similarly, we need to put the value for the div. So document.getElement by id. Its id is quote. So quote dot inner HTML is equal to quotes array of random quote. So let us now check how it works. Refresh. See, we are getting the best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. Refresh. It is a different image and a different quote. Nurture your mind with great thoughts. Again, it is different. Life is not about getting and having. It's about giving and being. Nurture your mind with great thoughts because it is giving the same number. We become what we think about. A person who never made a mistake, never tried anything new. Life is not about getting and having, it's about giving and being. The best way to prepare for life is to begin to live. Nurture your mind. I think it is generating the same random number. Every accomplishment starts with the decision to try. See, we are getting different images and different quotes. As we have just 10 images and 13 quotes, the image as well as the quote will be repeated. You can make it more unique with more images and more quotes. Okay, so hope this is clear now. This part is a bit complex to understand. It is using two math methods. The first one is generating a random number between 0 and 1. So we are multiplying it with the size of the array minus 0 so that we will get a value less than the size of the array, and we use the math.floor method to generate the integer because we need to have integer for index values, right? Then only we will be able to fetch a quote or an image randomly. So we are using math.floor because it will generate an integer by rounding the value to its downward integer. Similarly, we have created a random number for quote as well. Then we fetched the value, that is the image as well as the quote, using that random index. For images array, we have created random image as a random number, and for the quotes array, we have created random quote as the random number, and we just set the source of the image to be that particular value. This will be a location, right? And this will be a string value. This is the string value, and this images array contains the location of the image. So we haven't set the source as well as the code to be displayed here. We are doing it dynamically from JavaScript using the random number technique. So like this, we can develop a quote of the day application which will display different quotes each day, or whenever the page is loaded, it will display a new code over a new image.